This is set 75089, Geonosis Troopers Battle Pack, one of the best and unique Clone Trooper Battle Packs we've seen over the years with LEGO Star Wars. Some might even say that this was one of the last good Clone Trooper sets. I'm looking at you, M&R Productions. This would be due to the recent addition of the clone helmet holes. And at this point, I think we all know how the community feels about that. But with all that said, let's get on with the review. Set 75089, Geonosis Troopers Battle Pack, released on the 1st of January way back in 2015 and retailed for £11.99 or $12.99. It later on retired on the 31st of December 2016. Turning the box around allows us to get a better look at not only the box art, the build, which is an AT-RT, but as well as those beautiful Geonosis clone troopers. Keeping with typical battle pack tradition, this set includes 4 clone troopers as well as a small build. That small build being a perfectly sized and scaled AT-RT with an overly sized cannon, as well as those 4 clone troopers being split up into 2 types, the 2 regular P2 variant of the clone trooper, as well as 2 of those airborne Geonosis clone troopers. So with all that said, now let's actually take a look at those minifigures and then we'll take a look at the build. Here is the battle pack. So before we take a look at the build, we're going to take a look at those clone troopers first. And here they are, those 4 Geonosis clone troopers. So like I've already said, in this battle pack you get 4 Geonosis clone troopers, as well as the 2 airborne troopers and the 2 regular P2 clone troopers. So let's start taking a look at those P2 clone troopers. So this variant of the Phase 2 Geonosis clone trooper is the realistic style of the clone troopers. As you know, that in LEGO Star Wars history there has been many different variants of the LEGO Star Wars clone troopers from way back in 2002, from the regular P1 realistic style, the regular P2 realistic style we saw in 2004, then the updated P1 animated style for the Clone Wars. Then later on in 2013 we did see a return for the P1 updated realistic style in the episode 2 wave of sets, and then back in 2014 to 2015 and 2016, which was this era of LEGO Star Wars, we also saw an updated version of the P2 realistic style clone troopers. Now, I do not believe that these clone troopers are canon. We never saw this color in the movies nor in the Clone Wars, but it is a nice variant of clone trooper to see, and this, in my opinion, is one of the best designs of the LEGO Star Wars clone troopers throughout the entire history, because this is the movie Phase 2 realistic style variant of the Phase 2 LEGO Star Wars clone trooper, and it is just such a superb design, all the way from the brilliantly designed helmet mold, which went perfect for this and is free of those pesky helmet holes, to the lovely torso and chest print, as well as the leg printing and the coloring for these figures. These figures are just some of the best clone troopers out there and are leagues better than some of their modern variants that have appeared from the 2020 style of the Phase 2 clone troopers. Now, also included in this LEGO Star Wars set was those P2 airborne clone troopers. Now, these guys are brilliant. You know, the torso and the leg printing is more or less just the exact same as the P2 regular style clone trooper, the only difference being it has the printed on straps and the pauldron in the top left of their chest piece, as well as the different helmet. Now, this helmet is a really nice mold, and I believe that this helmet mold was brand new for the time. I don't believe it had been seen in LEGO Star Wars up until this point, and the printing for these guys, from the camo to the coloring to the black parts of the helmet, is just superb, and they are very nice clone troopers to have in a battle pack, especially for the time. This was what, £12, $12? You know, you could not go wrong for a LEGO Star Wars collector back then, and it's a shame that LEGO Star Wars has dropped a lot of these clone troopers, a lot of these different design variants and different legions, for more of the regular 501st troopers and the lack of the differentiating between the different animation styles. But with all that said, that makes these clone troopers even more special and even more valuable. So I've been very fortunate to get my hands on this LEGO Star Wars set, so these clone troopers get a pass from me, as well as the other Phase 2 regs. Now, with the clone troopers out of the way, let's take a look at the build. And here it is in all its glory, the AT-RT. Now this is a brilliantly designed walker. As opposed to the 2020 style of LEGO Star Wars AT-RT, which we saw in the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack, that walker was way too oversized. And if you didn't believe me, here they are together. As you can see, that 2020 AT-RT that released in the 501st Battle Pack is a good build, but it is quite oversized. And that's why I'm more drawn to the 2015 LEGO Star Wars AT-RT that came in this Battle Pack. Although that cannon is a lot bigger, we'll get onto those play features, which I think it is better for that, as well as it's just a nicer scaled down version of it, which, if you look back in the Clone Wars, fits with the Clone Troopers better, and fits with the whole section of all of the different Clone Wars vehicles a hell of a lot better. Keeping up with the typical AT-RT fashion, we have the posable legs. Now, these posable legs, you can move for an 180 degrees, you can give it many different poses, but that isn't the main play feature of this set. As you can see, up here there are two places for Clone Troopers that you can put on, and you can fold this front down, and then you can grab your P2 regular trooper and put him on the back. So you can grab your P2 regular clone trooper and put him on the back. Then grab your P2 airborne Geonosis clone trooper, pop him on the front, and if you take their blasters away, clip them on the back here, and like so. So once you've seated your clone troopers in like this, you can push this thing up here, put the gun turrets on the back for this guy to shoot off, and then you can put these guys, and it has space for 2 Lego clone troopers, which is a much nicer addition in comparison to the 2020 style of AT-RT, which is a much larger build, but you can only put 1 clone trooper in. And with this time period of LEGO Star Wars being 2015, we obviously have to see these stud shooters, which you've seen used for the blasters of the clone troopers, which many people didn't like, as well as this big gun turret on the front of the AT-RT. Now, if you see this little nozzle at the back, you can see, if I turn this, you can see it's firing the gun turret at the front, which overall is a very, very unique thing for this battle pack, because I don't believe that this gun turret, this stud shooting gun turret, was seen much at all after this inclusion in this battle pack. I don't believe it was in any other LEGO Star Wars sets. It may have been in 1 or 2, but I certainly haven't seen it in any other battle pack, and I've studied LEGO Star Wars quite a lot over the last 4 years, as that's how long I've been collecting. So this is why this battle pack is one of the most unique battle packs of all the Clone Trooper battle packs, and that's not even including the Geonosis Clone Troopers. But with all that said and done, that was my review of set 75089 Geonosis Troopers Battle Pack. For a battle pack that came out in 2015 when I was 11 years old, this was one of the best battle packs I've ever seen come out of LEGO Star Wars, and especially in comparison to some of the modern battle packs now. Not to say that those modern battle packs are bad at all, but this was one of those gems, and for the price and for the figures and the build, you just cannot go wrong for what this set was. This was probably one of the best battle packs. And I'm really happy and fortunate to be able to have this set in my collection finally, after all these years of collecting. If you guys haven't bought this battle pack yet, or are thinking about it, or on the fence to, I highly recommend it, because this is not something you should pass up. And these figures, I don't ever see LEGO remaking, so I would highly recommend getting them and getting this battle pack. You can get this pretty cheap. This set retailed for about £11 when it first released in the UK, and I was able to pick 2 of these battle packs up for around 40 Great British pounds, so that's £20 a piece. And anyone can use Facebook Marketplace or whatnot, or even eBay, and you'll be able to buy yourself one of these for a relatively decent price. So if you're on the fence about it, I highly recommend buying it, and this battle pack gets a thumbs up from me. It's probably about a 10 out of 10. You just couldn't get better for battle packs at the time. So my name's been georgegwih, and take care, guys.